I shuddered violently at the thought. Children provided my first real clue. They described a tune, one that sounded like the typing consistency that an ice cream truck might have. Not that ice cream trucks were common these days. I was a little surprised these kids even knew what one was. Some were even able to hum and whistle the tune for me. I wasn't entirely sure how to run with this info. The relevance of a single song really didn't occur to me. A small piece of the rest of the day was spent feeding myself and taking a nap as inconspicuously as possible.
Inconspicuous naps are the way to go. Definitely.
I had no intention of allowing anyone to see me be anything other than the creepy supernatural paranormal investigator. It's how I've always done things. You'll be surprised how quickly you can build a rep with the right look and behavior. After the nap, it was back to beating the streets. It was friggin' cold. In the near distance, I watched a quartet of kids, roughly 14 or so, playing a ragged game of football. They seemed to be having a great time, but even as far away as I am, their cheers and jeers rattle my nerves. For a moment, I wish they would be quiet. As though hearing my thoughts mid-run, they stop, on cue. They stand up straight and begin to draw heavy, ragged
story
breaths.
games, man. The Telltale series as well as are pretty fun.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Particularly The Walking Dead was my favorite.
Turn you up to 40 now, because you were a little quiet.
Am I getting quiet now? It just doesn't want to make up its mind. It has a mind of its own, this mic.
No, I just don't have you at the perfect volume yet. I think that might do it.
A girl
This
hugs
is
a
a
football
cool
to her chest as her eyes
Yeah,
get
it's
ever
really
wider.
cool. I actually really like the graphics too.
Well, it's all hand drawn. So far, okay.
Right.
Far, the first one was a little weird, but this one has been very interesting.
A girl hugs the football. Yeah,
I test
that
reality
last
for a
one was
moment.
pretty weird.
I wish I had a few thousand bitcoins. It occurs to me that I should have asked for something more easily checked. At the same time, it occurs to me that I didn't silence those kids. I bite my tongue, close my eyes. And
Some of the
barely
references
let
are
my tongue.
super funny, like bitcoins and my stream got blown up with an EMP. Like, really?
Yeah.
I dig in as hard as I can, drawing blood as my vision blares with the colors behind my eyelids. And then, I hear it. The song playing on a pair of shitty speakers. The kind you'd hear on top of an old-timey ice cream truck. My eyes flick open as I scan the horizon. The
There
truck
it is!
passes me, inches from
It's
clipping
the
my
truck.
shoulder, and heading straight towards the kids.
Oh shit.
No, you fucking don't! No, you. I break into a run, and despite the trivial speed of the truck, barely manage to keep up. As the truck closes
Truck
on
is
the
moving
kids,
pretty
it slows
slow.
to a stop, and I finally begin to close the gap.
Run on home, you kids. It's getting dark. This town isn't safe after dark.
Getting dark? What is he talking about? The sun set hours ago. No sooner had the words crossed my mind when it all went black. For a few moments, I thought I had been knocked unconscious. Then my eyes began to adjust. I make out the faintest impression of light.
Oh no. This isn't good. You kids better get in. I'll get you home safe.
I
Oh
watched
crap.
helplessly moving through the dark like it was molasses. Shadows pass before the light as he ushers them into the truck. The truck lights blare into brilliance, and I hear the motor roar as the car begins to move forward at a pace more in keeping with a motor vehicle. I would lose it even if I were still able to move. No! No! I let out a choked cry after them. Stop! Stop! Then I stop.
Oh shit.
The second cry had no depth to its volume. While the no had echoed normally down the empty street, the scream of stop had sounded like I screamed into the middle of a very crowded room.
He's loud, he's soft, he's loud, he's soft.
Slowly I reach behind me, laying hands on one of my pieces of emergency equipment. The kind of stuff you don't use when you want people to think you're some manner of elder horror.
Oh jeez. Go to options again. Voices, I'm gonna crank. Music, probably right there. There we go, return.
I slowly bring it around, just as I feel the breath on my neck. With a whip, I crack the flare. Seeing it burn red hot through my clenched eyes, and I hear the cacophony of screams. I open
The
it.
cacophony of screams.
Thousands of twisted, naked heaps of malformed, demi-human flesh writhe in the agony of the light. And as I raise it above my head, the flare burns brighter.
Okay, that's awesome.
The darkness washes away.
The darkness washes away.
I wheel around in place, but find myself alone back in the street. In the middle of the day. I drop the flare and try futilely to snuff it out with my boot. My little display has drawn an audience, and not so far down the street, I see my clients. Oh, fuck.
So it's ghosts.
I merely nod slowly.
But you can still get him back?
I nod again.
But it's been over a week since you started searching. He hasn't eaten anything.
I still couldn't wrap my mind around how much time had passed in the darkness. He will be fine. Time does not pass normally where he is.
You know where he is?
I nod. I'm going there tonight to get him back. They start crying. I'm not really sure what to do at this point, so I stand there, awkwardly, hoping that my layers give me more of the appearance of stoicism than an awkward penguin. Apparently it works.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I leave the building as they both chant thank you, like it was some kind of prayer. It's not the first time I'd heard that prayer. It's not the first time I had done this.
Yeah.
I'm ready this time as night falls. I withdraw a small shot and without hesitation jam it into my arm.
Okay.
Viper venom. I had a friend back home who kept one as a pet. Weird kid. Milks the things. Sells the venom, mostly to medical facilities.
Oh my god.
Occasionally he sells it to me. My knees nearly buckle as the burning begins to creep through my arm.
So, dude, if you want to go to the land of the dead, you gotta put viper venom in your arm.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right? I know, right?
It's Halloween, buddy.
This guy's got a friend, and he has vipers, and he milks them all the time.
Viper venom. I had a friend back home who kept one as a
He
pet.
sells the venom mostly
Milks
to
the
the medical
things.
facilities,
Sells
but
the venom,
occasionally he
mostly
sells
to
it to
medical
him.
facilities.
Hey, you
I'm
know,
ready this time. My knees nearly buckle as the burning begins to creep through my
That's how
arm.
it goes.
I stifle a scream. Then I hear it, and everything clicks.
Here comes the ice cream truck.
Around.
Here comes the ice cream truck again.
I let out a long sigh and stand up, adjusting my layers. I turn my eyes to fall upon the approaching truck. My hand goes behind my back and my fingers close. I train the gun on the truck and unload a triad of shots into the ghost truck's engine.
Now I see that ice cream truck.
The engine sputters, the grating burns, melting away, and the music screams in protest.
What do you think you're doing?
An escapee from an Andy Warhol painting stutters, stepping awkwardly from the vehicle.
An escapee from an Andy Warhol painting stutters, stepping awkwardly from the vehicle.
Wow.
That is the greatest thing. That is the best line I think I've ever seen written. Oh, look at his face. His face changes. How did that do that? There it is.
It's getting dark. I have to protect the children.
To the dark. To the dark.
Only one thing may not exist. You and that which you fear must cease to be.
But the children...
The darkness falls upon me. With such force, I stagger.
Oh, crap.
I lose my grip and the gun disappears, searing into the shifting mass of flesh. My hand goes behind my back, and my grip closes around a rough-hewn blade, forged of obsidian and steel.
Where is he getting this stuff from?
And as I carve outwards, I hear the screams of all the lost children, unwilling to accept their fate, and swallowed by the darkness. Flesh tatters as I carve, burning away like paper, until finally, I lay into the man.
No, you don't understand. I was just trying to help.
The cacophony resounds as the children... I bury the blade into his throat. The cacophony resounds as the children who lost themselves in the darkness writhe, and I go about my work of freeing them all, just as I had freed this man.
Wow, that was some epic. Where does he get an obsidian blade?
My baby. Oh, my baby. It's okay.
No, not everyone. They're all dead. Everyone.
7 kids lost here. And I got back all of them. I wonder how many I actually freed. How many had he trapped in his nightmare? And what the hell was he so afraid of in that darkness? And most importantly, why did he ultimately abandon them to it?
I don't know how to thank you. After a week of not hearing from you, I'd feared for the worst. A month after that, and I'd come to accept that it was over. I was ready to move on.
His eyes fall to his wife, still babying the boy, who won't stop staring off into the distance.
She had faith, though. She said that you were an angel, or maybe a demon. She didn't care. She believed in you. Some nights after she had said her Hail Marys, I would see her put her hands together, and she prayed to you.
I was almost flattered, but to tell the truth, the idea of someone believing so much in me, in praying to me, it was terrifying.
I want you to know, I'm willing to pay more than whatever your normal fee is. We've been living with a tight belt since I called you, and I won't lie and say I don't do well for myself. I have more than enough saved up to pay you anything we could ask. Or, if there's something else you want, there's nothing I can offer you that means more to me than my son.
I let out a long sigh. I reach up to my hood and pull it back. Both of them gasp, stepping back and then cocking eyebrows in unison, having perhaps expected something more. After having been gone for 2 months, I could really use a job.
Dude, that was a good game. That was good right there. That whole thing was pretty good. Not bad for an indie game. So they're on Patreon too.
Nice. Did you do all 3 of them?
I did 2 of them so far. I'm about to do the 3rd, which is the big one, Perceptions of the Dead. So there's Jill Count, the Phantom Ice Cream Truck. We both did that. This is volume 1 of this game. I think I will be reviewing this. I think I should review it. It's pretty good. Very nice. Perceptions.
And you still haven't even done the main one yet.
Yeah, here's the other one. Perceptions of the Dead. Tyrone has made it his business to help solve the troubles of those afflicted by the undead. But what seems like a case of the benign haunting may find him risking more than his life, but his very soul. Let's play this up. Nice.
I'll be the first to admit,
This looks like
there's something a little sad about watching a pirated copy of the original Star Wars trilogy. It's been out for as long as I've been alive. You'd think I'd own a legal copy
He's so
by now.
scary.